I'm hot right now and you're not, okay? Oh, you big mad, oh, you big mad.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to Custom Culture. We are on, I think, episode 5 now, which is awesome. We've had some awesome guests. We have our first returning guest here today with us as well. Last month, we talked about rap versus paint and really got into... wrong rap. Really got into just the finer details of rapping and the industry and businesses, and it was super awesome to have Jess and Mike on.
Paint.
This week we have two people very close to me, near and dear. We have Seth Fink again, my adopted uncle, and we have my father-in-law, Scott Rex, over here.
He's like your adopted father.
He's like my adopted
So I'm about as real of your uncle as he is of the father.
Really, honestly,
So
Or uncle by marriage.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
This week, though, we're going to be taking a dive into the outside of car shows and just from outside looking in, and what it's like to be a spectator coming to car shows, what it's like to have someone on the outside looking into the scene, what they like, what they don't like, and who knows where this episode's going to go. So this is going to be a fun one. I'll kind of hit it off here. You can start us off. Tell us a little bit about you again, and we'll go from there.
Wow, about me. Wow. You know what? Why don't you tell about me and I'll tell about you?
No, that's terrifying. So he's a Virgo, and no, we're not going that.
But I am.
I know you are.
So are you.
So am I.
As you can see here, I have a slight car addiction, and I've been in love with cars since I was a kid, and I don't know how they expect any little child that collects hundreds of Hot Wheels cars to have just one as an adult.
Yep.
So these are all my Hot Wheels cars back here. Actually, only some of them, because the rest of them are all strewn about the city in different places.
We have two.
Just, born and raised car enthusiast, but not by my parents, by my neighbors who are gear monkeys and always out there working on cars. And it's just been a passion since I was a kid.
Awesome. I know you obviously aren't in the scene itself, but tell us about your love of cars and how this asshole over here got you into it.
Well, actually, my dad got me into it first. So, because my dad is a big car guy too. Has always had some sort of a performance car. The earliest one I remember was his RX-7 that he had back in the, had to be late 70s, something like that. Mm-hmm. So always been a part of my life with that too. And we always went to like the Barrett Jackson shows or Russo Steel shows. So I've always been
that was
in
his
there.
First love.
Okay.
What's that? Oh yeah.
This was his first love, which is my first car.
So. There you go.
Except that was his second love, but that's okay.
Both.
Yeah.
First love was Sherry Baby.
It was. And now we can't tag me on Instagram because I think she follows me on Instagram. So, anyway, there's a different story behind it. But then met Seth when we were in high school. We've known each other for over 40 years, brother from another mother, and he's obviously a huge car guy. I do not have a Hot Wheels collection like this. I do have some cool old cars in a little box, but that
you live vicariously through.
I live vicariously through his
collection.
car thing. Yeah. And we've done a bunch of car stuff together over the years. We've gone to Bear Jackson together. We've done the Hot Rod Power Tour twice.
Survived once?
We survived.
You survived? Both
The car did not survive the first time.
She did not just survive the first time.
Yeah, she's not long
she
distance
blew up. And actually just wrote a book about the second time called We Took the Long Way, now available on Amazon Marketplace.
Ooh, shameless plug.
Shameless
plug. Absolutely shameless plug. But
better than a butt plug.
Seth and my trip cross country together to do that. And we're off the rails. So anyway, that's a little bit about me. And then obviously gotten more into this end of the car culture through my son-in-law over here. So
awesome. Well, happy to have both of you on this week, and it's going to be an interesting one, as we can already see. But let's jump right in. Let's kind of talk about car shows to start off with. Obviously, you've been to a few with our club, Dinamica. You've come to some that I've had a booth at and stuff like that. But especially as someone new to the scene and someone that's not in the scene, what are your first impressions going to a show? What are some things that you look forward to, having been to a couple of them now? And what are the things that you're like, I could probably do without that shit?
Should I put on the old man voice? Go, why does it have to be so loud? No, what I generally look forward to is it's just, you see weird crap there, and it's always entertaining to see. And that actually is the same thing as like at Barrett Jackson shows and stuff like that. Obviously, they don't have the same type of vehicles there, but it's always fun to see the holy crap, what is that thing over
Right.
there? And so that's one of the things I really look forward to when I do come to the shows is, the weirdness of some of the builds, the thinking process behind some of them. Some of them are just plain cool, but then some of them are like, you have serious issues, sir.
Right.
And I'd like to talk to you about them. So I kind of look forward to seeing the weirdness.
Okay.
Quite frankly.
Like that one we always see with the little graveyard scene at the
Oh
front.
my God! Yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
It's just different. I mean, it's not everybody's thing.
Yeah.
It's
I don't know
interesting.
that
It's interesting, but it's
interesting.
yeah.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah.
When the little trapped person keeps screaming nonstop, that's when I want to punt that little doll.
Yeah.
I mean, what I like seeing cars that are, clean and thoughtful and creative, and people obviously put a lot of time and effort into the build, but I'm definitely more into something that's more refined, might be the right way to put it.
Yeah.
Some of the crazy stuff like that, you're like, okay, Lambo doors are yesterday, bizarre presentations are yearly yesterday. And you go, then you're like, okay, I've seen that before. Show me something I haven't seen.
Right.
Just a clean car that's done well, that's thoughtful, that's modified and super tasteful. And it's like, not everyone is like that. So.
No, that's the big thing is like not everyone has that thoughtfulness to their build. Some people just throw paint at a wall and hope it sticks.
Yeah.
And
those aren't the weird ones I like. I like the weird ones that have some thought to them.
Yeah. Totally. What are some cons to shows? What are some things that you're like, I'm really not looking forward to that?
Besides how loud it is?
Yeah, no, I like drifting. I don't like it when the drifting smoke is in the pathway that you have to walk through to get to everything else.
Yeah, I will say tire smell is great until I inhale multiple gallons of it.
Yes. The last show we went to, we were going to get drinks and had to walk through the tire smoke.
I can taste it.
Yeah. Our beers, which were, by the way, can we get better beers at these shows?
Some shows have great beers.
Yeah, well, I remember one show where they actually had some good beers. Yeah. But the last one, it was like, we have Ultra, and that's it. And I'm sorry if you like Ultra, but you're wrong. So we need
beer water.
We need more crafty
flavored
stuff.
water.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the slightly flavored water tasted like tire.
Okay, you're done. You're done. Let me talk.
No,
so,
no.
I really prefer the shows that are more isolated as a trophy car show.
Okay.
Going to the big shows that have drifting and all those other things, they're so distracting. Like the last one at Modded, you couldn't hear the trophy presentation.
Yeah.
It almost felt like an also to a big event.
Right.
If they want to do a drift and drag event, that is awesome. Then you go and you watch a drift and drag event. But having the car show as part of it, it almost kind of doesn't fit together.
Yeah.
So like doing things like Spoke Common that we've done.
Yep.
Or there was one last year that was in like the warehouse in near Wild Horse Pass. That was.
Rawhide.
Rawhide. Stuff like that. I like that's an isolated show. Like the one we're doing this weekend at Garage Dreams. That's an isolated show. And I tend to like those more because then you can really go around and enjoy the other builds and see what people are doing. And you're not distracted by all this other stuff.
Well, it's also nice because you can talk to people. Yeah. It's very hard and at some of these bigger shows that have so much extra going on to like actually have a conversation with a builder or another person that's there or just friends. Like you end up leaving the show just to be able to have a conversation sometimes. So yeah, I totally get the desire to want to have something more on just like the smaller side instead of having to include it all. But I get where Modded's coming from as well, is they have to think as far as like participation is concerned, they're trying to draw the max amount of people.
Right.
They're trying to draw the max amount of attendance and the max amount of spectators. So you throw all that together, it makes the bill for the rental for the space a lot easier to handle.
And that's also where if you can have a bigger space. Like when we did the Hot Rod Power Tour, there were multiple places that have drag racing and drifting and the show, everyone showing their cars. But I never felt like it was interfering because it was a large enough space.
It's just like LS Fest.
Yeah. But obviously the Hot Rod Power Tour's got some bucks to it where they're able to rent these larger venues.
I think Modded maybe, and we're going to have Chris on in a couple months, but I think they're maybe 4 or 5 years old at best right now. So they're very young. They're starting off.
They're doing what they can.
They're doing what they can, and they're obviously growing, but, there's always room for improvement, right? So what was your first car show experience like?
First one of these kind of car shows? You mean?
Yes.
So I think that was the one out at Westworld that I came out to. That was, maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I can't remember.
Would it have been? Was it with my first booth?
It might have been your first booth.
We displayed Tyson's car.
I wasn't able to make that.
It was like
Hot Import Nights.
Hot Import
Yes,
Nights.
it was Hot Import Nights.
Yes.
So, and that was actually a pretty chill show overall.
Yes,
like it
that
was inside.
show is inside, and it is just a car show.
And they had good beer.
Because it's at
I sound like an
Westworld.
alcoholic, but that is an important
Because it's at Westworld.
thing.
That's why.
There you go.
Yeah.
Westworld always has good beer. Rawhide
This
usually
is true.
has good beer too.
This is true.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was my first car show experience, was that. And it was more of what I thought of as a car show, just with different cars, more of the modded cars versus, the classics or whatever.
Yeah, the resto mods.
And I really enjoyed that. But like you're talking about, it was a little bit chill. It was kind of, all kind of small and located in one place. And it was pretty easy to get around and pretty easy to hear what you were doing.
Yeah. Even we went to IFO down in Tucson.
Oh yeah, that was forever ago.
And that was forever ago. And we the two of us drove down there, and that before it ever got built, and hung out. And that was
That's right. I forgot about that one.
even though they were doing drag racing and stuff, but the rest of it was all car shows, so it wasn't as all over the place.
Yeah. Well, and the drifting or the drag there is obviously a little bit distant from the parking lot. So even when you got Hondas and shit absolutely blowing gaskets, you can still have a conversation at the end of the day. So I totally get that. Get that. Having gone to a lot of classic shows or resto mod shows, and then coming to more of the modded scene, what was different about like the vibe? What was different about that change?
Did you lot younger.
Well, yeah.
Well, like we'll go to something like Concourse in the Hills.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is an older crowd. It's very refined.
It's in Fountain Hills, so yeah.
Shut up. It's a refined automotive, refined cars, more refined crowd. You see people of all shapes and sizes going to it, but it's a little bit it's a little snotty. It's a little prestigious.
It is. Absolutely.
But that's such a different atmosphere from a more current modern show where it's super modified cars and with lights and this and builds and everything else. Where you go to a show like that, it's just the car itself, like a classic car.
There's more creativity at these kind of shows.
Yeah, for sure.
Because classic shows, they're classic.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to screw with them.
The point is, where can I find the stock part? Right. Not what can I replace the stock part with?
Right, exactly. And I mean, it's cool to see the classics and all of that. And it's great. I do it every year with my dad and my uncle, and we always go. And you usually,
I didn't go this year,
don't forget.
But, I've been doing it since high school with them. So. But yeah, so it's kind of cool.
Because you didn't invite me back then.
I didn't. Where was it going? I don't even remember. But yeah,
I'm a cheap date, and he still didn't invite me back then. But that's all right.
I can't touch the microphone, so I got to be careful there. But these shows,
I'm sorry.
There's more creativity to them. There's a lot more creativity.
There is definitely a lot more creativity. It's a very different type of mindset when it comes to cars. Mm-hmm. And I think you see that just in Seth's cars alone. He does both, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's stuff that's on air. We've fully built out multiple times at this point. Mm-hmm. And then you obviously have a Viper that there's really nothing to do to it besides maybe replace some LED headlamp bolts and a radio,
and just enjoy it.
Yeah, and you just enjoy the car for what it is. So it is a different mindset. And I also think with like the more modified shows, you take cars that aren't generally seen as like showy cars. Like you think about like how many Camrys are modified. Like you would never go, let's bring a Camry to a classic car show. Like, you know what I mean?
Or like Tyson's car,
a G37 businessman sedan
is nothing. By itself is just bleh. But until you go ape crap crazy building it.
So it's definitely the type of. I think the model of car is just very different as well. Because like you look at like the classic cars, and it's the Corvettes, it's the Impalas, it's the Grand Nationals. It's the cars that.
Ooh, did he say Grand National?
He said Grand National.
He did.
He might be prompting something.
It might be.
But it's
foreshadowing. Anyway.
But it's those cars that have a classic reputation that people want to show off. Whereas in our scene, it's the Camrys and the basic businessman Lexuses that people are like, let's go to V8. So let's do something stupid.
Well, and the quirky stuff's fun. Remember when we were at Maple Motors when you bought the Firebird?
Oh my God, the Pacer.
The Pacer. Yes, I knew you'd know what I was talking about.
Oh my God, the Pacer with the flames.
MC Pacer. Yeah. And it was my favorite car on the lot other than the Firebird.
It just had a big, huge motor in it.
It was all motor.
All motor.
All motor. Yeah.
Like
and
everything else under the hood was gone except motor.
yeah, it was insane.
Big ass engine.
But it just cracked me up because I remember I had a friend who had an AMC Pacer back in high school. So it was like, this is so cool. So yeah, it's fun to see those different.
Yeah, but tell them about your first car in high school.
My first car, the Mustang.
You had a Mustang?
Mustang 2.
I had a Mustang 2.
My mom had a Fox body.
So I didn't actually have a Mustang.
It wasn't even a Fox body. It was half as cool as a Fox body.
It was a Mustang 2 with a 302 V8, which meant it didn't do anything.
I was just saying,
like
useless.
You'd like be at the line and you'd sound really good. And
Yeah,
then you press it and it'd be like
tubing.
Oh, you'd like to go now? Okay. And then it puttered. So yeah, it was a terrible car.
Now, for you, having come from more of like the classic car scene and stuff like that, and moving into like our crazy shit box that we are, what was welcoming for that, and what was more intimidating at your first show? Because I think one of your first shows was Spokane.
Yeah.
It was like your second show.
Yeah.
With this thing.
Yeah.
And
that's freaking huge, isn't it?
And it trophied at its first show ever.
At its first Spokane ever. And to get a sword is a huge, huge deal. But what was something you were like, wow, this is just awesome? And what were some other things you were like, oh shit, this is
I remember walking around and saying, I need to do that, I need to do that, I need to do that, I need to do that.
That sounds right.
It was, as much as you think you've done, you haven't done enough. And yeah, we've talked about it before where it's some of it is check the boxes on the judging sheet. Does it have this? Does it have this? Does it have that? But even beyond that, sometimes the creativity and the display and all the other stuff, you're like, okay, I got a lot to learn about this car scene to be able to step it up a couple of notches.
Right.
So it was definitely intimidating to see just how much, how much time these people had spent, and they've been doing it a lot longer. So it's like, I just had a lot to learn about.
Yeah. You're coming in and at that point you're just like, I thought I did a lot.
Yeah.
I guess not.
Yeah. Hey, I was happy to walk away with that. And like,
honestly, that was crazy that you did. Yeah, we did not think you were going to take home a sword.
We just went to go.
Yeah, we just went to go, and Tyson took home a sword. You took home a sword. It was a great weekend, especially for Tyson's first Spokane with his new build and your new build.
When are we going again? Got to do it again.
Probably next year.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You heard that, everybody. Again,
we're
next
going
year.
To Spokane next year.
Cool.
We're not getting a booth though.
Okay.
Shit's way too expensive.
Okay.
And no one in California wants to bring their shit out to Arizona. So
do we want to take the Fiat?
Hell yeah.
Okay. The all right. There we go.
There's going to be some really stupid stuff done to the Fiat by next year. Because
you can.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can.
Get another best interior trophy.
Honestly, with everything that I have planned, I should win best interior. Not the current way. It shouldn't win best interior.
I feel like that's getting best personality in the yearbook.
Wait, I got that.
That would have been so awesome.
I did. Well, they didn't even think of enough of me to give me that. So it's fine.
Yeah.
So talking about from your perspective, like being a spectator, why do you think some spectators stay spectators, and why some spectators maybe go, I want to join the scene?
That's a good question. Yeah, I think it's probably just like you kind of have this closet desire to be a part of the scene anyway. Like you're checking it out and you're like, I've always wanted to do something like this. And it just sort of tips you over this because you can see that the people that are there, I know I said in the closet.
He's in the closet.
I said in the closet. I didn't say I was in the closet. I said those people are in the closet.
But you implied you were. Okay, go on, please.
Anyway, no, but I think what helps is you see that those are like normal people like you, kind of thing. It's like if you go to Barrett Jackson, the people that own those cars, a lot of times it's like, oh yeah, I'm not going to have that kind of money ever to be able to do that. Whereas these people don't have that kind of money, and yet they're making it happen with what they have and what kind of their dream is on it.
Right.
And so I think that's where some people tip over into it, is they're like, I've always wanted to do it, and this dude's doing it, and he's like me, or I have more money than he does, I think, so I could totally do this kind of thing. So I think that's possibly where a lot of those people are going to go from being a spectator to a part of the scene, is just the understanding suddenly that, oh, wow, this is actually something that anybody can be a part of.
Right.
As opposed to some of these other shows where it's like, you can only be a part of that if you can put this much down and sit in the spectator area.
Yeah, if you own 4 houses, then you can be here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I definitely think that's a big part of it, is just because like when I was growing up and like when I was a teenager and you'd watch all these big car shows on like YouTube and all the recap videos, you see all these like dope cars and you're like, I would love to do that, but like you don't really know how to like get into it. There's not really a path. It's not like a sport where you can just go try out for the sport and then or get a coach and then you're part of the sport, and you just have to show up. And if you show up with your mom's sedan, it's not going to go well for you, you know? So it is nice to be able to go to a show and meet the people there and understand that like these are, let's be honest, most of them are middle-class people who have a normal day job, and then they spend all of their extra money on a shitbox.
Yep.
So, and you know, we all can be someone that spends all of our money on a shitbox. So
yeah, and there's so many different levels of shows too. There's so many smaller shows too where you can go to it with more of a shitbox car, and start off there, and then just sort of build yourself up as you kind of get, well, like you said, walk around, get ideas, and all that kind of stuff, and you start building up what you have. So I think it just is a more welcoming perspective from that, whereas the other ones, it's like you have to have a certain amount of money to buy into the lowest level,
right?
And a lot of us don't have that money. So
there definitely different tiers of shows at the end of the day. I mean, there's the IFOs and the modded cultures, which are obviously your local shows, and then you go into like Spocom and stuff like that, which are much bigger. And then there's even shows like on the East Coast that are like bigger than Spocom that are just like this week is no, it was a couple weeks ago. It was like Gatlinburg. It's a whole weekend of just everyone just goes to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and it's like this huge thing. And I'm like people are trailering cars from California. Like they loaded up an entire car transport and just drove out to Gatlinburg. And like that's a huge show.
We need to do that.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
I'm down.
Yeah. Road trip.
The whole club can just rent out a semi.
Yeah.
Because I'm not driving my car to Gatlinburg.
No.
Yeah, but to be honest, one of the things that actually opened my eyes on it was one of the people in your club, George's car.
Yes.
George has a Mazda 3 hatch.
Yep.
I have a Mazda 3 sedan.
Right.
And I'm looking at that when I first saw it, I'm like, that is a cool car. That's a Mazda. That's my Mazda. Well, it's the hatchback version of it. I was like, I never would have thought to do some of that stuff to my Mazda. So it's kind of cool to see that he's got a similar car.
So much fun to see the car that you own, or the car that you want to buy, and then you're like, oh, I couldn't do that.
Yep.
I can buy those
So
parts.
I think you just have a new customer, because it just said he wants to build his Mazda 3 just like George, but it's the sedan, not that.
I don't know that I quite said it that way.
He kind of did.
I think Mom would absolutely love that.
I think she would love it.
Yeah, she would absolutely love it.
Yeah.
No, I'd rather buy a new one first and then mod it. So let me get the new one first.
So that's next week, right?
So,
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. We'll start after the bus.
Yeah.
But as long as I get the money in the divorce settlement. So.
Hey, you're going to save that just in bourbon, so you're fine.
What are some things that you feel like social media has in terms of like drawing people in? Like I talked about like YouTube. That was a huge thing for me wanting to get into the scene. But like if we think about Instagram and TikTok and all those things, do those help to draw people into the scene, or do you think they maybe put this big bubble around it and make it look more exclusive than it is?
I think it does. I mean, I think it depends who it is, right? Because I have like 3 followers, and some people have like 30,000 followers.
Right.
So I think if you're following the right things, I mean, I think it does open it up to other people, and it depends kind of what you're following. But just like if you're not watching the right stuff, you're not going to ever see it anyway.
Yeah. No, it's super true. Like there's definitely, I feel like, car channels on YouTube and even profiles on Instagram that make it seem like this very high-end exclusive thing. And they're the ones that are like, I went out and bought 3 BMWs this week, and we're doing full carbon fiber race kits on them, and you could do this too.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I can do that.
No, I can't do a competition M3 BMW wide body kit. That's more than my house just for the kit, not including the car.
Right.
But then there's obviously channels like ours. There's a bunch of shops out there that post regularly, and it's obviously at the end of the day, it's just some dude in his driveway working on a car. And it makes it a little bit more like, oh, I have a driveway.
It's more realistic.
Yeah, it's definitely more realistic, and it makes it a lot easier for people coming in, because they see, again, someone is doing that, they can do that too. It's just a learned skill at the end of the day. Like if you don't know how to take your car apart, Chris Fix is a great place to start, because that's what every mechanic shop, they just watch Chris Fix and they're like, oh, this is how to fix an engine.
But if you really don't know how to take your car apart, call this guy.
Yeah,
right
if
here.
you don't know how to take your car apart, there's people
what I
out
do.
there
that will
that
do it
can
for you.
take your car apart for you.
Yeah.
But
See, I can take my car apart. I just don't choose to take my car apart anymore.
that's the other thing. You don't have to take your car apart.
right.
You can just pay somebody else to take it apart
right.
because
To be fair, I could take it apart. I just couldn't put it back together again.
that's honestly true.
There would be parts left
That's when you
over.
call
It'd be
me
like-
and say, what do I do?
It'd be like, building IKEA furniture. And it's like, what
I
are
got
these
you
Why
screws.
do I still have these like 6 bolts?
I'm
in
sure
this?
it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just plug and play. It'll be what could go wrong.
Yeah, it's not the taking apart that's the problem.
So taking apart is easy.
Never mind. Anyway.
So
Drink your beer.
Yes, it's down there. I can't reach
coming
my beer.
from
I can't reach my I've fallen and I can't reach my beer.
Would you like me to get your beer for you,
No,
old
we're
man?
good. We're good, thank you.
so coming from a newcomer to the scene, what advice would you give to someone that's coming in to help them feel a little bit more welcome, or just to kind of feel like this is something that they can do?
Make more money. Because you kind of have to have that.
Yeah.
Just be open-minded and know that this is a process, right? We've
Yeah.
been building on this car for 3 years now, and we make this change, we make that change, we add this, we add that. You can't do it all at once,
Right.
And you just got to be patient, knowing you're going to add things and you're going to have some ideas, and you're going to say, oh, I want to get that done, or I want to do this, and it just takes time. So you got to be patient, with building your car and getting it to the place that you want it to be at.
Yeah. No, I think that's totally true. I mean, from someone like me that's been there for, I don't know, 10 years now, it's very much just show up. It doesn't matter where you're at as far as like, you just got wheels and tires. Like, who cares? Just show up, start, because I feel like it's easier to start making more modifications once you start coming, because you're just like, oh yeah, I could do that, and that's quick and easy, and I could do this, and that's not super expensive. But at the end of the day, yeah, you just need to make more money, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Like it's
Or be patient that you can space that money that you have over time, like you were saying. So
drugs are cheaper than cars, I'll tell you that. So
I wouldn't know.
cars kind of are a drug, though.
they are.
I mean,
Addiction.
addicts
Hello.
number one right
Hello.
here.
But I'm saying
Slight addiction,
you
sorry.
could buy a lot of.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Wait,
Yeah.
but wait, hold on. Manual, automatic.
And you have a manual and an automatic in my house.
I do.
Yeah, because the Firebird's an auto.
I know, because it's okay.
Yeah.
But that bus with those great gears, you can't even find. They're the best.
What were they thinking?
I'm dreading
that
moving.
gear.
Well, I think they were stoned when they made it, because you got to be stoned to
100%.
drive it
No,
properly.
they're German.
That's German.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, no.
there's no German engineer, real German engineer, not like Mercedes, old Volkswagen bus.
Who makes reverse in that direction? That's what I want to know.
Shall we continue?
45 minutes of a laugh track.
Fook me, fook you. Anyway, let's move on, shall we?
So going
Austin
back,
Powers joke. Sorry, I'm sure it's copyrighted. Let's just not go there.
going back to shows, and what are some things that you wish shows had, and what are some things that you want shows to get rid of?
I wish that more shows had an announcer you could hear.
Yes.
And when they do the trophies, you could actually hear them, because that is more often than not, you can't hear what's going on.
And
More often than not, that's the main reason for the show.
Yeah.
People want to see
Yeah.
people win
Yeah.
trophies.
Yeah.
But there has been so many shows lately that I think most of the shows I've been to in the last year, when there hasn't been many, but every single one of them has not had a microphone.
Yeah.
They've either had a blowhorn, and I'm like,
Or nothing.
or nothing. And even the electronic.
It's just, no.
Okay, yeah.
So I wish they had that. You say more of or less of?
Yeah. What do you more of, less of? What do you want people to get rid of? What would you like to see?
I mean, other than being able to actually hear. I think, seeing more shows that are just car shows, that are bigger events. And I know that economically that may not work. And I'd be willing to pay a little bit more for a registration fee to have a show that is just a trophy show and that sort of thing.
Well, yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah.
Because I think, like you said, economically, I think it's been harder for the shows that are just shows, because everyone wants a nice venue.
Yeah.
No one wants to be in a parking lot. Let's be,
Yeah.
tomorrow's is in a parking garage, which is still better than a parking lot at the end of the day. But the bigger building, the AC, it all costs more at the end of the day. And so economically, it's harder for these. That's why we've seen a lot of shows start to dwindle off because they just can't afford it,
And the other thing I've noticed just with the handful of shows that I've gone to is you see the same cars winning, and that might be a function of some judging bias or the judging laziness, or there's just not enough new energy going into it. I don't know which it is, but I think there's a little bit of both.
Yeah, I think there is always some judging bias because I think a lot of the judges that work in Arizona, they float between shows.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I'll go work for this show, I'll go work for this show. And shows pick them up because obviously they judge for other shows, so they must be good at their job, right? But at the end of the day, then they start to pick the same cars over and over and over again. So it becomes kind of should that car maybe win? There's a possibility, but if there's different cars showing up, there should be some kind of variation across the board.
Right. Like the last one we did, every car in our club won a trophy. Yet we still didn't win best club quality. And the club that did had one.
Yeah.
And it made no sense to me. And that was judging bias for sure.
It was 100% judging bias.
So it's that gets a little strange. You're like, okay, that doesn't really make a lot of sense. But yeah, there's politics and those sorts of things.
There's always going to be politics, unfortunately.
But seeing, I guess, how do you get those other people more involved? And we talked about that before, getting younger people involved and just show up and have a different variety of stuff instead of seeing the same old thing each time.
And I don't even mind seeing the same cars every time, but the shows that go multiple times a year are hard for me because not many people make major adjustments to their car in a year. You usually build it during the off season and then you show it all year. So if I go to a show that has a show in January, July, and October, that's great. You got 3 shows a year, but I'm going to see the same shit and nothing's going to be different. No one's going to have updated anything. So while it is fun to just go to shows, if it's the same show every time, it's
Can you imagine the first time we debut the bus?
So fun.
That's going to be so awesome.
It's going to be nuts. Yeah. Well, and that also
we start giving out Mai Tais to everybody. They're free.
There you go. That made me think, though, too. It'd be kind of cool if, on the show circuit, instead of the trophies, at least from my perspective, the trophies are pretty standardized across the board.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if there was some variety in the trophies that were awarded, even if it's just 1 or 2 things at every show. So, there's some quirky trophies at this show, or this show tends to focus more, and that might get some new cars in there that. Like we've talked about the Tiki bus here that's coming up on it. And what category would that fall into?
Right.
But if you had quirkiest build, or I mean, quirky might be a weird word for that, but wackiest build or something like that, then, and you had a show or 2 that focused on that. Well, now the Tiki bus on wheel, the Tiki bar on wheels is going to be featured at those 2 shows. Whereas the other shows, maybe it doesn't show up. So maybe you can actually get some variety to them where you can start seeing different stuff at different shows.
Yeah, especially if you're having, as a company, if you're having multiple shows a year, if you have specific awards for each show, it's obviously going to draw a different crowd for each show, but then it's probably going to draw a little bit of variety.
Well, they don't always publish what they're going to be doing.
The awards are.
And that would be nice.
The last one we did, they had the category for performance build. That's the first time I've seen that in the shows we've been to.
Right.
Of course, we won.
And that's what I was thinking of. This would be perfect when you have a performance build, but you're not going to bring the Tiki bus to the one that has performance build.
Right.
So, you're going to bring, and you're not going to bring this to the one that's got, weirdest build or something like that.
So, Best portable bar.
Best portable bar. Yeah, well, you're going to win that all year.
Well, I mean, even if you did if you just made each show for a different type of car, lowrider show. Make it a lowrider show.
And they do that. In that community, they do lowrider shows like that.
But if you're trying to bring the community together, pick 2 different styles and have those communities come together for a show instead of just being okay, everyone's here.
Yeah.
And then you can have a couple of the other ones.
You can have, it's great to always have that, but if you're going, as a company, if you're going to have multiple shows throughout the year, you have to have some variety. It's the spice of life. So...
And to be fair, like in the classic car scene, there's a lot of them like that. Like, if you go, we've gone to Good Guys more than once together.
Yeah.
Good Guys has a very specific type of car compared to, say, a Barrett Jackson or a Route 7 Steel.
Right. Like you wouldn't bring any of our cars to a Good Guy show.
No.
Because they would look.
Because he likes variety.
So, yes, I do.
Variety.
It's the spice of life, as we said. So,
We said Tyson's going to enter the G into the Fountain Hill show.
oh, there you go.
In the concourse?
It'd be popular.
Nice.
I bet it'd be
It
popular.
would be more popular if it was a stick shift.
Right. We'll just cover the area so it looks
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We just make a little false cover that makes it look like.
Yeah. I did that in my first car.
Even that one, the Fountain Hills show, the concourse in the hills, that's actually a good point because they separate that out by the different varieties of cars.
They do. They have the
they do.
Japanese section. They have the American section.
And even within the American section, it's the Fords and the Chevys and whatever, and it's the different car clubs in the valley. For those who haven't been to it, the people in the car clubs bring their vehicles,
Right.
And so even if you did that in a show where maybe you've got different different areas where this is more of the imports, these are more of the domestic, these are more of the weird builds, whatever, then people can actually congregate in the areas they're most interested in. So that might be another way to bring people in where it's like, oh, there's going to be a whole section for
Right,
X.
because then you're like, oh, cool, there's a section for, classic cars. I'm going to go hang out with my people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Instead of being like, I don't like that car, I don't like that car. Oh, that car's cool, but then I'm not going to walk for the rest of the road because it's not what I want to see.
Yeah.
So
So there's a lot of different things in there that you could potentially do.
Yeah.
I think a Grand National would fit in well at Concourse.
Grand National would fit in very well at Concourse.
Yeah,
Have we ever seen a Grand National at Concourse?
Not that I recall, not in a long time.
I don't remember seeing one.
Yeah. Well, we need to get one.
We
so
see
can have one.
Citroen.
We should
We
get
should get one so we have one to go enter there. Yeah, we should.
Yeah, guys ought to go this weekend.
Yeah, we ought to go Sunday.
We gotta go Sunday.
He's picking up a Grand National.
Just blazing the trail on Sunday to and from. It's going to be a long ass day.
Well, we'll share driving. We'll tell stories.
Yeah.
He'll nap because he's really good at that in the car.
I can fall asleep anywhere.
Yeah.
Except when he's driving. Let's hope he doesn't nap when he's driving.
You got the auto drive.
I do not.
You
No.
didn't pay for that?
No, well, it's the towing HD. They don't do that on that because they don't want you doing that towing a big ass
That'd be
trailer.
great.
No.
Sir, why is your trailer 100 feet in front of you? I have no idea.
I was asleep. My car was driving.
Bet you the Cybertruck will let you do it.
Cybertruck can't tow anything. Cybertruck can't tow itself.
It can tow itself, but just not very effectively.
Can it?
Anyway,
So,
let's move on. Shall we?
if you had...
$1 million, what would I buy? No.
If you had...
A boyfriend?
I don't.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
Actually, I have Tyler, so...
Oh, you do. He does have time.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Your two son-in-laws.
My two son-in-laws, yeah. Peas in a pod, man. Peas in a very awkward pod.
If you could add anything to a car show, what would you add?
Oh, man.
Anything. What would
Calicorn
make
stand?
They have teleport stands.
Not always.
Not always.
Not always.
But you could add anything.
Circus clown. Juggling.
Could be interesting.
What'd you say?
Circus clown.
Circus clown? I have no.
He hates clowns. So do I.
Nobody likes clowns.
Nobody likes clowns.
So I don't hate them. My wife hates them. So
What would you add?
I don't know. I got to think on that one. Whew. I mean, we've hit some of the things that we would add. I'm trying to figure out which one would be the one.
Yeah. What's the one thing that you were like, if every show had this, I'd go?
It's not a limbo. It's not girls dancing on stage. Those are no.
You
What
sure?
would it be? I'm positive.
Okay.
When your daughter goes and does it when she wasn't expecting to, yeah, no.
Oh yeah. No,
I
good
forgot
point.
about it.
Good point.
And I grab your daughter to stand there with me so I don't feel like a creepy old man.
I forgot Emma got called up for
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's right.
I'm like, here, Alyssa, come stand with me while I watch this because this is awkward as hell.
Yeah, because otherwise it's like, who's that guy?
I did that. That's true story.
Yeah.
So that is very true. Yeah. Oh man.
It's a
I don't
hard
know.
one.
What's that?
It's a hard one.
It's a hard one. Yeah. I mean, it's not a very sexy answer, but I think we touched on it earlier. I like the concept of a bigger show that has the multiple things. If those shows always had them separated out from one another a little better, where you could go and hit the area you're interested in, that would be super appealing for me. So like when we talked about on the Hot Rod Power Tour, when we were on the Power Tour, the locations that had drifting and had drag racing, everything was very distinct and set apart. The drifting was way over there. If you didn't want to get tire dust all over you, you didn't have to go over there.
Car show people don't want tire dust on their cars either. You know?
So if you had a setup where everything was very distinct like that, I love the big shows because it gives you a lot of different. You can only walk around and look at the cars so many times,
right?
So I love that. Yeah. So I love having. Oh, I can go look at drag racing now. Okay, now I can go do this. Oh, I'm going to go do some drag race. I'm going to stay longer. Yes. Quite frankly, I'm going to stay longer when I have that.
As a show putter honor. I don't even know what you would call them there, but you're going to make more money that way.
Yeah. I would think so because I'm going to stick around longer.
Producer.
Producer,
what you call it?
Production manager.
Yeah.
Putter honor.
Putter honor.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm going to have more to eat, more to drink while I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm more likely to hang out for a longer period of time if you give me multiple things to look at. But if you cram them all in a tiny space where I can't hear myself think and where I'm inhaling tire dust that, you know, when I'm drinking my Corona, it tastes like tire dust, or I'm eating my nachos or whatever, not as appealing for me. I'm not going to stick around as long, or I'm going to go hide as far away from that as I can.
Right, you're going to find a corner with, you know, that you can sit in that's not ridiculously loud and crazy.
Which we did at the last show we were at.
Yeah, we sat in the air-conditioned building in 8 Texas Roadhouse.
Yep, exactly. So,
how about you? What would you add?
Well, a couple of different things.
Chippendales?
Strippers? No.
Chris Farley?
Yeah. Wow.
Strippendales?
Yeah, Chris Farley, yes, that's fine.
Yeah, okay.
No,
sorry, that was
more like I know they do like a People's Choice at the show tomorrow.
Yes.
Like I think more shows should do that where people can actually, the crowd can vote on their top 5 favorites.
Yep.
So there's some kind of an award for the one that the crowd said, this is the coolest car there.
Right.
Another one, we've only seen it like once where there's like photographers at the events taking photos and stuff like that. And I think having more of that where it's like an opportunity for people showing their car to maybe connect with photographers and things like that, that would be cool. Because I've seen it sometimes, it's just not a constant thing. And these night shows,
it used to be really constant. There used to be media passes that you could purchase at these shows. And IFO was a good one of them, but they're not in Phoenix anymore. They're not coming back. Hot Import Nights had a media pass that you could buy. They're not here anymore. But like Garage Dreams doesn't have a media pass. A lot of these other ones, the bigger shows definitely do. Like Spocom always has media passes.
And that's the only time I've seen it.
Yeah. And so there was a really big photography scene with that, of being able to come and you could pay to actually be a media person and shoot as much content as you wanted and whatnot, which was great because you could connect with models, you could connect with drivers, and then you can set up photo shoots and stuff like that. Whereas now most of the photos are either just people that brought their camera with them or your iPhone camera. You know, you're not really seeing a large photography presence anymore.
So the other thing is like at this last show, you know, we went to, they actually had a category for performance build. That's the first time I've seen that. And I'm sitting here on a car that, you know, what used to be a drag car, and it's a high performance car, and there's really not a lot of recognition for what's under the hood other than what it looks like.
Right.
And so that's why, you know, doing the show board, kind of describing that was important, because half the build is in the drivetrain in this car.
Yep.
And people wouldn't know that if they just looked at it. Ooh, pretty, but they're not going to see that.
Yep.
And so I think some recognition for the performance of the car, not just how it looks, because we know people with cars that look amazing and they're like on their last legs running and operating. It's like, okay, they need, I mean, it
just because it looks pretty doesn't mean it's running well.
Yeah. And so there should be some recognition for a car that's a performance car that actually still looks good.
I did all the outward work. I did the air ride. I did the trunk setups. I did the custom upholstery, but I also built the entire engine. You know, because that is a lot of, especially like the Mopar community and the Corvettes and stuff like that show up to these shows. They are generally factory engines. You know, they've got really loud exhausts on them or massive fucking intake, but like most of it is just hydro dip parts or powder coated parts and a really loud exhaust. And they're like, oh, it's so cool. And I'm like, well, it's not stock. So that's cool. But yeah, there isn't a lot of recognition for the actual building of the motor. That tends to be a totally different sector sometimes of what we see. So I think that both of those would be really nice. So we'll start to wrap things up here. as far as your takeaway.
Don't wrap me up, okay? Not till later. Anyway.
From what you've seen from car shows so far, do you still want to come back to shows moving forward?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I do have a bit of a vested interest in it.
You do.
So I do. But yeah, I enjoy going to them. I don't go to as many of them as you guys do, but I enjoy going to a couple a year.
Yeah.
I kind of pick and choose which ones I think are going to potentially hit the sweet spot for me.
Right.
But yeah, no, I'm definitely going because I love going to car shows overall, whether it's just a small show in a parking lot with a bunch of people showing their cars or something larger like a Barrett Jackson or anything in between. And these just hit a little bit different spots, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I'm in.
For you, having been to a couple big shows, you've been to a couple small shows, which one do you like better? Do you like the Spocoms better? Do you like the modded cultures and the small IFOs better?
I just like the ones that are more isolated as a car show.
Gotcha.
So, and we've been to big ones and small ones like that.
Yeah.
And I just like that better than the absolute shit show of everything going on at once.
So you're saying size doesn't matter?
Correct.
That's correct.
Only sometimes.
But not for car
But not for car shows.
Not for car shows. Well, thank you guys for being on today. It has been...
Oh, we're on, all right.
Yeah, it's been an interesting one to say the least.
As long as we're not off.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We will be back.
And we're sorry. We're
next
really
month.
sorry.
Yeah.
No, actually, we're not
I'm
sorry.
not.
we're not
No. He's speaking for
Next
himself.
month's episode will be our Christmas special. It'll be short. It'll be brief, but it'll be
Batman
a good amount of
smells.
fun. We'll have some returning guests. But until then, we'll see you guys next time.
Oh, and don't forget.
You forgot.
Don't grow, kids. Don't forget what? What are we not supposed to forget?
No, I don't know.
We'll see you guys next time.
I forgot.